How's it going, my friends? Today I welcome you to a Fallout 76 discussion video. So in today's video I want to take a look at the Fallout 76 Power Armor Edition and judge if it is worth the price. Because my friends, this is a $200 game. Well, it's a $200 version of the game. So yeah, quite simply, I thought we should look at the Power Armor Edition for Fallout 76 and simply go through all of the items one by one. And then at the end we can come to a conclusion on whether or not it is worth it. Now before I do continue, to those out there who have already purchased this version of the game, do not let any of my personal opinions get in the way of your fun and enjoyment. You know, don't let some random guy on the internet make you feel bad if you have bought this game. If you're truly excited and you know you have the money to spend, then you know, just go for it. I say go for it, have fun. And, you know, let me know, come back and let me know if you've enjoyed all the goodies in the game. Okay, so with that said, let's jump into all the items that will be in the Power Armor Edition, and then we can judge if it is worth it. Now, of course, the centerpiece to this Collector's Edition is the full-scale, wearable T-51 Power Armor helmet. And trust me, I'm going to get to that, but I just want to save it to the end, because yes, this is the main reason people are buying this edition, and I have got a few opinions on the helmet itself that I want to save to the end. You know, I really want to get in-depth onto the helmet, because it is the main reason people are buying it, and I have got some what I think decent opinions on that, so I want to save that to the end so I can go really in depth. So first we should go through all the other goodies first. So let's just start with the glow-in-the-dark world terrain map. Now when it comes to collector's editions, a lot of you out there know that I'm not really into collecting physical things like statues, like for example, you know, Pit Boys and Power Armor. But if there is one thing I do appreciate, it is maps. For some reason, I think it's ever since the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim where I got that cloth material map, I have just grown to appreciate maps. Other collector's items don't really do it for me, but I can always appreciate a good map, and this map does seem certainly interesting. It's glow in the dark, and the description reads, "This physical, fully colorized 21-inch by 21-inch glow-in-the-dark vintage map showcases the 6 distinct regions of West Virginia, complete with irradiated landmarks, towns, and wildlife." So it's a glow-in-the-dark map. It actually has an interesting attribute to it that kind of sets it out from different standard maps. You know, the glow-in-the-dark really does go with the irradiated Fallout feel. I could definitely see how it would be kind of a centerpiece in someone's map collection. And there's nothing really more to say about that. It looks like a decent map. I always appreciate a good map, and I really like the glow-in-the-dark kind of, you know, aspect of it. Next on the list we have 24 collectible Fallout figurines. The description reads, "Crafted from in-game 3D models, these detailed miniatures bring Fallout 76 vault dwellers, power armored soldiers, creatures, and more to life." Honestly, looking at these, looking at the basic picture I have, and it is the one they've decided to advertise this with, so they have to appreciate and like this to use it in the advertising. By the looks of it, simply, I'm not into it. It doesn't really do anything for me, to be honest. They look like those little toy soldier models that you get and you played with as kids. You know, there's ones from Toy Story. They look slightly tacky to me. I'm sure they will probably be more detailed, but I'm really not a fan of just that matte plain colour of grey, blue, and green. If they had more details, more like, if they were like painted miniatures like you get in Warhammer and D&D, then I could definitely see how this would contribute to the value of $200, but they just look like kind of tacky plastic things that, you know, a 6-year-old would play with in their army set. Doesn't really do anything for me. I can appreciate that they're Fallout related and that they're actually from the Fallout world, but apart from that, it's just a bit meh to me. Okay, so next up on the list we have the Tricentennial Steelbook. Now the Steelbook is a physical cover for the physical copy of the game. So for any physical media collectors, disc collectors, I'm sure they'll appreciate the Steelbook cover for the game. Again, I'm not a big collector of Steelbook covers. I think I have 2, so it doesn't really do anything for me. But with that said, we should jump into the description of it. So it reads, "Exclusive to the Power Armor Edition, this decorated metal case is the ultimate collectible, celebrating America's 300 years of freedom." Nothing more to be really said. I've said all I can on this. It's just a Steelbook. Doesn't do much for me. I'm sure there are people who go crazy for these Steelbooks that have collections in the hundreds of collectible Steelbook covers for various games. That's cool beans. For me, it doesn't really add to the $200 value of this game. Okay, so next up we're moving more on to items that I can more appreciate and that I think are worth it, simply because they can actually be utilized and used in-game. Okay, so up next we have the Fallout 76 Tricentennial Edition bonus in-game items. The description reads, "Celebrate 300 years of freedom with the all-new Fallout 76 Tricentennial Edition, commemorating the opening of Vault 76. Be the talk of the town when you emerge from Vault 76 fully prepared and patriotically styled in the new American frontier." So this is going to be some in-game items, weapons, and apparel probably. I don't know how useful this is going to be late game. It will probably be quite useful early game. From what I'm guessing, it's definitely related to the founding of the USA. So what I think it is that musket or the flintlock pistol we saw in the demo at E3. I definitely think it's going to be related to that revolutionary type thing and the founding of America. Tricentennial, definitely a huge part of this game, and for that reason I think what we saw in that demo when he shot the flintlock pistol, I think it's going to be that and various other items, maybe some kind of revolutionary apparel, kind of like the Minutemen from Fallout 4, that kind of stuff. I can appreciate in-game content because I can actually use it and it actually does something for me rather than sitting on a shelf. But again, I don't really know how useful these items are going to be late game. Does it really add to the $200 value of this game? I don't know, it just seems like a bit of DLC that they've just taken out of the game already. Is it that valuable? Probably not. But here's where we get to one of the juicy items of this game that's probably one of the biggest reasons, other than the helmet, that is getting people wanting to buy this game, or this version of the game. It is the access to the Fallout 76 beta. Now, of course, Bethesda has a huge fan base of rabid fans that want to get their hands on the game ASAP, and this beta is going to appeal to those people definitely. So the description is simply, be one of the first to emerge into a new and untamed wasteland. For me, this is one of the items that I would say is most worth it. Again, I keep saying this, it's not really worth $200 by itself. I know the whole package is everything combined, but I wouldn't buy this game simply for the beta. If you want to do that, just pre-order the standard edition of the game. But again, I think this is worthwhile because it is a beta. It means you get to play the game early. I'm sure there are people out there, like YouTubers, who want to be able to start recording videos as soon as possible in this game, and that the beta will probably be very valuable to them. So that is all the other items besides the helmet, and now I want to move on to the helmet because this is the centerpiece, this is the main juicy nugget that everyone's buying this edition for. No one's really going like, oh yeah, I really want to get that Power Arm edition for the 24 collectible figurines. No, they want this helmet. It's just like the Pip-Boy. They want this collectible thing that's never going to be made again, probably. So let's just start with the description. Full-scale wearable T51 power armor helmet with Westech canvas carrying bag. This wearable helmet faithfully replicates the in-game model and comes complete with voice modulator speaker, functioning LED headlamp, and custom V.A.T.S sound feature. Now my friends, I want to tell you a little story about a ye-old young boy version of me that was so excited for Fallout 4, he couldn't help himself. He wanted everything Fallout 4 related, that he bought and pre-ordered the Pip-Boy version of Fallout 4. Now, do I regret the purchasing of this edition? Honestly, yes I do. I do not think the Pip-Boy edition was worth it at all. All the Pip-Boy does for me is collect dust on my shelf. I really don't care for the item at all. I guess it looks kind of cool, but honestly the shiny plastic material of the Pip-Boy itself really didn't do anything for me. The reason I like the Pip-Boy is that rugged kind of metallic scraped up wasteland look, and this just looks like it came from some factory in China, just fresh off the press, just shiny and just plastic looking. The only thing that's not plastic is the opening lever clip thingy. That's metal. That looks cool. If the whole thing was metal, I think it'd be way more worth it, but it's kind of just like cheapo plastic really, and it looks really shiny and weird, and it looks like with the power armor helmet they've done a bit more to kind of detail it, make it a bit more metallic looking, but still it is not metal. The power armor helmet is made from ABS material, which is essentially a strong plastic, so again it is a plastic helmet. It is a very high quality strong plastic, but it is in the end a plastic helmet, and I do not think that is worth $200. Now, it does look like a very intricate helmet, like they've put a lot of time into it. I know that it is a 3D printed helmet that had been 3D printed by a company that makes movie props, so it is high quality, and some would argue that, you know, because of that, because of the time and effort, because of the material used, the ABS, it is worth $200. I would say no. I would say it's worth probably the same as the Pip-Boy edition, which is $100, or, well, I bought it for £100. Well, in dollars, that's like 120 or something dollars probably, or bit more maybe. Again, I can definitely see die-hard Fallout fans wanting this item, and I guess in the end this is what this edition of the game is for, those die-hard players who, you know, really want everything Fallout 76 related. For me personally, I haven't even seen any beta gameplay of this game yet. I don't feel comfortable, you know, even pre-ordering this game, let alone sinking $200 into a game I've not actually seen anything of yet. I mean, we've seen the E3 stuff, but having it hands-on as a consumer is so different to seeing their hand-picked segments at E3. theory. I mean, this is the whole reason for the beta. Bethesda knows it's going to be bug ridden and that it's going to have issues that they want to smooth out during the beta. For me, I just need more to know. Like, this is such a different Fallout experience to what we're used to that I don't know going into it if I personally would be so quick to pre-order this version of the game. Again, all I can say is my personal experiences from the Fallout 4 Pip-Boy edition, it kind of burned me a bit that I generally don't pre-order anymore, especially special editions. I find more and more that collector's editions are getting, honestly, worse and worse. They used to be very high quality stuff inside these collector's editions, but now it's just becoming kind of tacky and almost just dust collectors that sit on your cluttered shelves now. It just seems unnecessary to me, but again, this is just my opinion. Please do not let me kind of, you know, damage your fun or in any way at all. This is just my opinion. The power armor helmet does look pretty cool. I guess it will look very awesome on a shelf, but I think as soon as you put it on, that kind of plasticky feel will hit you. I think it will look quite silly, honestly, wearing it, just like the Pip-Boy did. I mean, we all know what the Pip-Boy... I put the Pip-Boy on once, and it just looked horrendous, and I feel like the power armor helmet will be the same. But the Pip-Boy looks okay from a distance on the shelf. The power armor helmet is a bit more detailed than the Pip-Boy, so I think that will look even better on a shelf. Honestly, if you have the disposable income, go for it. If you're a die-hard fan, go for it. If you're just a guy who likes the game, who wants to play the game, honestly, I wouldn't buy. Just wait for the game. And there's not much point buying this if you're not really like super into it and into that whole collector, I guess, world in like sub world in the gaming world, which is collection, which is, I know people collect hundreds of pop figures and all that stuff. So if you're that person, go for it. If you have the money, which I don't, go for it. But with all that said, my friends, please, the most important part of this is that I want you to share your own thoughts and opinions. I want you to tell me in the comments below if you think it is worth it, because I've shared my opinion thoroughly now. I've given you all the gritty details on what I think and my opinions, and now I really want to hear from you guys, because that's really important to me. I want to know what you guys think. I know there's a few of you out there, well, I know there's at least one out there who has bought this edition of the game already. If you have bought this edition, please come back to me once you have the game and tell me if you like all the goodies. Tell me if I'm wrong and that I misjudged this edition. I would really love to hear that. But my friends, I think that's going to be the end of this video. That is my opinion. Again, do not let it sway yours. And if you have a differing opinion to me and you want to tell me I'm an arsehole, feel free to throw that in the comments below. I want to know now if you think this is worth it. My friends, thank you for watching. Your viewership is always appreciated. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye for now. Oh wait, don't forget, if you like what you see, feel free to leave a like. If you want to see more, consider subscribing. That bell button also helps a lot. This is my official send off now. Goodbye.